Hey everyone, Dane Sheriff from the Steam Network once more, bring you a 1 vs 1 replay of Starcraft 2, and yeah, it'll be on the Metalopolis map. So it's actually myself, Lightman, playing as the Terrans, and we've got Xerxes, or however you want to pronounce his name, playing as the Terrans as well. So yeah, as you can see already, he's doing something a bit shifty here, and yeah, I guess you'll find out soon what exactly he's doing. So yeah, I thought I'd commentate on this game simply because it was rather bizarre to say the least. We both went with rather unconventional strategies, and yeah, the game was just all over the place. So certainly wouldn't see this sort of stuff normally. But anyway, as you can see, Xerxes is going to be going straight for this gold expansion, so he even loaded up his SCVs, although he could have just done that without loading up the SCVs, but anyway. And yeah, he also sends one just to scout out my expansions, so already he knows where I am, but of course I don't know where he is. So yeah, he's economy not quite as good as mine, because yeah, his yeah, I've got more SCVs than he does, but of course if I leave him to keep well, to keep training SCVs here, then yeah, he's going to eventually surpass me. And yeah, he's building up his own supply depot first, and yeah, here comes my SCV to scout around, and of course I'm not even going to take the Zelgarag Tower, which is something I should have done to begin with. We'll just be going with, yeah, pretty standard build into barracks and all that, while this guy's, of course, mining these rich minerals here. So here we go with, because yeah, I would have suspected that he did spawn here, and I was actually correct in that he did spawn here, but he moved his command center straight afterwards. So of course, seeing it there, I had to assume that he was actually down here. But of course, then I sent the SCV down here. Again, without going anywhere near this expansion. Oh wait a minute, oh, okay, never mind. It looks like I'll be sending him back. Yeah, as you can see, I'm certainly a bit puzzled there as to where the hell he actually is. So I'll be sending my SCV to the other location where he should have spawned. And yeah, he's starting to slowly catch up when it comes to SCVs. I probably should have been pumping up mine as quickly as possible, but oh, what can you do? Still got a slight lead on him, but I think his income is starting to catch up. Yep, it's starting to exceed mine as well, which is just dandy. And yeah, he's building 2 barracks of his own while I've only got 1. Building more SCVs still, and yeah, of course, building the first marine and all that. Yeah, I'm floating quite a few resources. I'm not entirely sure what the hell's thinking of that, but oh, there we go. That's right. If you actually go down here, you can find out what exactly I was doing. So I was floating a bit of resources in order to plant my own command center down, because I suspected, you know, since I couldn't find him either here or here, there's no way he should have spawned here, so of course I decided to put a command center down of my own. And I think this is the time when I actually send the SCV, yep, to tag the Zonaga Tower, because then I start to suspect, yep, that he's got one of these locations. And yep, so I actually did spot him at that time. So he's got 3 barracks coming out with a couple of marines. I've got a couple of marines of my own. Second barracks coming down, so yeah, probably should have been a bit faster for that. And yeah, then of course I do the scan there and see that yeah, he does have the full expansion with a couple of barracks and all that going down. He's only got a few marines so far. And what is my CV doing? Of course I'm not going to be building a bunker or anything, which is kind of ridiculous, but oh well. So yeah, I'll just continue training more SCVs, more marines and all that. He's got 3 barracks now, so well, he's almost got 3 barracks, so it's going to start exceeding my production pretty soon. Yeah, he could mount some marines and all that, and yeah, I don't even have as many marines as he does, because sorry, as many SCVs, because yeah, I haven't been focusing on that quite as heavily. I do have a second command center though, so although he knows where my main base is and I know where his base is, he doesn't know that I actually have a base down here. And here we go, I've actually sent a couple of marines out, I suppose to try to engage his base, but of course I should have noticed they did have existing barracks buildings here. Now of course he's going to counterattack me, and yeah, I just don't really have marines to stop. Although what I should have done probably, now that I think of it, is maybe I should have moved a few guys over here so we can actually see what's happening. But yeah, the Xerxes guy already knew about, you know, the possibility of me having a marine up here, and so he actually did move them a bit. Except he does still have the rally point here, so I could have actually ambushed these couple of marines here. And yeah, now he's scanning to see what's happening. He sees, you know, I'm only just now getting the 3rd barracks, which is kind of ridiculous. Of course, he doesn't suspect that I have a command center here at all. And he's actually establishing a second one at the 2nd gold mineral expansion, so he's being very greedy, and I suppose a good reason, really. I mean, what he sees is basically, you know, me on a single base of next to no no production, no Marines defending or anything like that. Yeah, just a whole bunch of SCVs mining basically. So just have a look. Actually, I do have the SCV number advantage, but yeah, I'm not really doing too much else. Yeah, he does have resource advantage at the moment. He's starting to attack my buildings, and yeah, it looks like I'll be lifting them off, and I'm pretty sure I'll be attacking the SCVs themselves at some point as well. Pretty sure we should be able to repel this attack, and yeah, we'll just keep producing as well at the same time. So, yep. Here comes Orbital Command, and these SCVs are... Oh, that's interesting. They're bypassing as Marines. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. Are they going... That's interesting. I don't recall actually ordering them to go down into this expansion, but... Okay, apparently that's what they're going to do. Oh, okay, because they all collected minerals so they're all, and gas, so they're all going to go to the nearest command center. Well, thankfully Xerxes didn't suspect that. He just saw a whole stream of SCVs going down, but he didn't even do anything about it. And what the hell? Oh my god, they're actually going back to the original mineral patches. My god, I really should have watched out for that. Oh well. Anyway, I do have its factory flying around still, and yeah, the command center has been mostly saved, as well as its barracks, but yeah, the remainder of my SCVs are just getting killed off, and yeah, these ones are coming back, which might have been actually a bit of a saving grace, because Xerxes probably would have wondered where they went, and now of course now they're going to be pulled off the line, and yeah, I think they're just being told to directly attack these Marines. As the Orbital Command, yeah, I think we're actually just sending it towards this main base. Actually, no, wait, where are we sending it? Okay, all the way here, of course. And yeah, these SCVs are just going to chase the Marines back to their base. So yeah, Xerxes actually succeeded pretty well in getting one hell of an economy up. The problem is though, he's saved up loads of resources and he still only has 3 barracks and a single factory up, which looks like he's going to, yeah, he's going to go for a tech lab add-on as well. So yeah, these SCVs are of course going to get killed off. I probably should have just kept them down here just for hell of it. And yeah, as you can see, my own production is starting to build up as well. I've still only got 1 Orbital Command up and running, but this one is going to drop off, and this one here is not mining at all, so Xerxes is playing a little bit sloppily, but then again, I think we're both playing a bit sloppily. Not exactly the highest level of play, but still interesting to see. And of course, yeah, Xerxes has to be a bit sarcastic, saying, oh no, killer SCVs, of course. And yeah, so he's actually pulling all of his SCVs off the line. Wow. A bit of an overreaction just to deal with my guys. And yeah, looks like I'm getting a barracks to float in, I think just a scout, and probably going to be pleased with what I can see there. And yeah, my SCV is going to scout this expansion as well as the transferring SCV. Is going to get taken out, but his work was certainly done. This barracks staying here. Xerxes for some reason not manufacturing any Marines or anything like that. And as for me, yeah, I'm just seem to be floating a few resources as well, not even getting any SCVs for this expansion. I was probably wondering if it's going to get detected or anything like that. And yeah, as you can see, these barracks are slowly starting to produce units, and yeah, we're just continuing to produce SCVs, so wow, very bizarre game to say the least. My economy is barely below his, but and he's not actually mining. Oh, yeah, well, he's mining a tiny bit, not really that much at his main base at all. And yeah, I think these Marines, yep, they're going to start moving around. So yeah, he's going to pick up on my expansion, which means he's probably going to send the remainder of these Marines here as well. So yeah, it's too bad that I didn't actually train any Hellions or anything like that from this factory, or else we would have been able to take him out pretty easily. And yeah, I decided to drop off my barracks at this little smoke area here, and I think... Oh, there we go. I think it's just so I can get the tech lab, so I can get the actual research, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, here we go. Here come my Marines as well to take out his SCV here. His Marines coming out to take my barracks, but I'd say overall, yeah, these Marines have got a far better target. And I think this guy... Okay, he's just looking to see where my expansions are. Interesting. And is this command center actually going to see where I am? Yep, he is. He's going to see it, so yeah, he'll know where I expanded now. But yeah, his command center is going to go down though. Pretty significant loss for him, and he doesn't really have that many Marines out. So he's got 13 to my 20. Well, to my 29 now, and he just doesn't have as many barracks producing. And as for this barracks, yep, it's yeah, just doing that stimpack research. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, I just plopped it down there just to do the researches, since yeah, it was a bit too far from the other barracks buildings to really do too much. And I suppose, you know, it could sort of act as a bit of a backup building maybe. I'm surprised that Xerxes didn't actually finish off my base there. So I don't help much in any case, and yeah, now I've got a bit of an engagement here, taking out his troops, and yeah, at the same time his troops are taking out my orbital command. So yeah, a bit of a trade when it comes to orbital commands, but he is being forced to lift off his final orbital command here. and yeah, it just doesn't build much when it comes to production. So I think it was mostly relying on taking me out, basically with what he had. You know, taking out my single base and ending the game there. I don't think he actually had any plans for, you know, me expanding, stealthily expanding like this at all. And there we go, there goes his command center. My command center's been destroyed, although he hasn't targeted my factory. He certainly would have seen it, and yeah, he's not even bothering to defend his base with the paltry amount of marines that he has either. My barracks at the same time is tailing his orbital command, so I'll be able to see where the hell he is. And okay, I'm actually building a second expansion myself. Well, there you go, and yeah, finally he's being forced to lift off his own buildings, but given that I have a much greater map presence, in fact I have a second group of marines here who's basically been sitting around doing nothing. Yeah, given that I do have much greater map presence, I don't think he's going to be able to do too much, especially given that, yeah, he's not going to be able to fly his command center or anything like that, and yeah, there's a good gain from Xerxes, and yep, there's me leaving soon after, so wow, one hell of a game to say the least. It's been the same strategies, but yeah, just as well that I went for this hidden expansion at the very beginning. Yeah, so interesting stuff there indeed. So yeah, hopefully we should be able to upload this a bit later on today, and until that happens, this has been Dame Dudovich signing off.